Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Media Reviews. Today is one that I've been meaning to do for a long time because I thought I covered it already, but in reality I've only talked about it in passing glance when talking about other stories. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is one that actually started me down the road that I'm in, or at least one of the work that I've covered of Angry Little Elf. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one that started his Amazon storyline from the Justice League animated series of the Man-Killer Virus, the Gendercide episode, and spawning his versions of Gendercide stories that are either incomplete or are going, standing at 11 chapters. This is Halo, the Amazon land Halo, or basically his Halo Gendercide story, where Master Chief and Cortana end up in the post-Gendercide world, with Chief being the only surviving man. And I'm gonna tell you now, folks, this story makes a lot of things, it makes a lot of decisions that does not add up to Halo. Thank Christ, though, it is not as bad as the Halo TV series, which is apparently debatable among people. How people can like that show, I will never know. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about what happens when Master Chief ends up in a post-Gendercide world, and the decisions he takes. And the decisions the author decides the Master Chief to take is definitely not Halo. Like, not going to the United Nations and basically saying that he falls under the United Nations control, considering he is a Special Forces asset for the United Nations Space Command, United Nations Navy. He is a Master Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, meaning that he's Navy, essentially. And the Justice League, in that mindset, would be seen as a civilian vigilante organization, or at least a type of law enforcement organization, not military. And again, the story itself is the first of many of the Amazon land stories, or the Gendercide stories, as I'm going to call them, where Angry Little Elf decides to recycle the same damn opening for every single story he's ever done, including his Game of Thrones story, except for his Fallout New Vegas one, which we hope to God, with the people I have directed him to, will basically make it break the cycle. Like you trying to break the cycle in Mass Effect 3, even though the fucking 3-choice ending is still bullshit even to this day, and you need a mod to actually give you a proper fucking ending, but, that's neither here nor there, and there have been more than enough videos talking about that stupid ending. But what elements of this story actually works? Actually, no, like, joking at all, and in all seriousness, The story itself presents a cool idea of the Master Chief finding his humanity. Much like in the Marvel's Land of Heroes, where Master Chief basically adopts a mutant girl and is even kind of having to raise this child and even finding his own maternal side, and I don't mean maternal as in, like a mother, I mean as in like a parent. This one decides to basically have it to where he's basically trying to comfort people he comes along the way, basically learning their story, be it pre and post gendercide. He even, in the story itself, does catch the bitch who basically creates the gendercide and even faces the fucking Olympians, and honest to God, that's a whole thing in of itself that I honestly was impressed with. But this is more or less concentrating on the Master Chief finding his humanity and learning how to love. Now, yes, the whole thing is basically, instead of it being like some basic bitch hentai story or some porno story where basically he goes around and bangs every single woman he comes across, no, in reality, it's basically him going to different sperm banks and donating his genetic material to basically help repopulate the world, or at least get babies going again, so that way, that can happen, save the species, while at the same time, hopefully find a fucking cure. Now, the big thing about this is that everyone's going to point out the big flaws with that plan, but with the Justice League universe showing actual cloning technology and even fully advanced artificial wombs, and even alien technology, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Vandal fucking Savage was alive still because of his immortality. Oh, and let's not forget magic. But that can be argued in the comments section. I'm here to review the story. The story as a whole does not follow Halo lore. We don't get any sort of lore dump. Master Chief does not act like Master Chief reporting to the UN instead of agreeing to go with the Justice League. That's definitely not Halo, but at the same time, I still like it because even though it's not Halo, it's still exploring the idea of Master Chief finding his humanity. Basically learning how to love, learning to feel, learning to not be military 24/7, learning that he is not just a Spartan, he is not a genetically enhanced super soldier. John 117, John is a human being. John has feelings and is exploring those feelings. Yes, many will point out, oh, they're going to explore the sexual feelings. No, that's not what the story primarily is focusing on. Yes, that's one of the elements of it, and if you don't like that, then don't read it. Don't come fucking complain to me going like, I didn't like it because it had sex. I'm telling you ahead of time, it's gonna have sexual themes. If you don't like it, don't read it. I'm just telling you what I liked about it and what elements actually work for this. And the elements that work for this is the emotional side of the story. Is John finding emotions? Is John learning to be human? That works. Everything else about it does not. Again, I had a huge conversation with my buddy Crimson Weresloth, who actually is a big Halo fan, just like me. I've even had a field discussion with other Halo fans about this story, and they themselves agree, while this is not a Halo story because Master Chief does not follow the Master Chief does not follow, what he's basically been indoctrinated with, or what he follows in terms of basically what he's been trained on as a soldier, as a super soldier, following chain of command, all that good jazz. In terms of an emotional story of a soldier coming from war, finding to be human again, basically deprogramming themselves from war, it's honestly a really good story from that aspect. And I honestly can't fault the author for that, actually following that element. Now, would I like for him to redo the story and basically do it like a proper Halo story? A selfish part of me says yes, but the more realistic side of me says no. Again, I am enjoying the story, even though I do point out that's not how a Spartan would do it, that's not how that's going to do it, that's not how that's going to do it, basically nitpicking. As a whole, I do enjoy the story. I legitimately do. And granted, that's coming from a military family, a army brat, where I actually have talked to my family members who have gotten out and have actually tried to fit back into that civilian mindset, and even when dating, had to break themselves out of that into that civilian mindset, away from their military mindset. And again, I can somewhat relate because of my family, and even seeing some of the hardships that they have to go through to basically go into the civilian mindset. So I can actually agree with the story's messaging of, basically a soldier coming from war having to find love and basically come out of that military mold. But as a Halo story, I'm not gonna just beat a dead horse over this. If you want to read this one yourselves, pinned in the comment down below is a link to the story itself. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come talk with me, pinned in the pinned comment down below as well is a Discord link, the Discord I am in. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Down. If you want to help support the channel, consider donating to the PayPal. Or if you want to help support me directly, I have an Amazon account. Consider contacting me directly via the Discord link down below to figure out how to support me via Amazon. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Owl, and I will see you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time, later.